Welcome to the topic introduction from the subject management and organization development. My name is Professor Vaishali Sarvi and currently we are learning the subject management and organization development of the course TY BCom from the group Business Management paper 3 of Mumbai University and all. Currently we are learning unit number 1, that is introduction. And from this module or from this unit, we have already completed these 3 subunits and we have reached to the last subunit, that is functions of management in a typical business organization. Point number 1.7, functions of management in a typical business organization. So what we have learned in our last lecture, let's have a quick review. In our last lecture, we have completed evolution of Indian management thoughts. And today we are going to learn different functions of management. What are the functions of management? Planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling and coordinating, which are included or referred over here with reference to that topic. We are learning the subject management, and after learning this, you will be able to elaborate the functions of management in a typical business organization. We are learning the subject topic introduction. And well, now we are going to move to functions of management. But in our yesterday's or in our earlier lecture, when we were going through relevance of Indian management thoughts in the current era, because we have seen different management thoughts or management thinkers. So how that Indian management thoughts are related, or they have the relevance in the in today's management or in current management era. So we have seen some examples proving the relevance of old management thoughts with current Western era or Western management theory. We have seen some examples, but just a few examples we missed. Some examples like how Indian management is successful in establishing some good principles. For example, successfully organizing events as Kumbh Mela and procedures and functions like Dabbawalas has substantiated the victory of management practices in India since ages. See, the two examples like the successful organizing events of Kumbh Mela and the procedures and functions of Dabbawalas. What is meant by Kumbh Mela? See, in Kumbh Mela, all sadhus comes to the sacred pilgrimage at Haridwar and Prayagraj. Those two cities are located in Uttar Pradesh of the country India. Lakhs of people or lakhs of sadhus gather over here for the sacred bath on the banks of the river. How the people, how those sadhus are managed? That is the effective management of Kumbh Mela, how it is achieved. Even lakhs of sadhus gathered amid COVID surges. The success of the Mela can be largely attributed to the strong political will, effective coordination of the various central and state agencies, and the motivation of the stakeholders to serve. It is the motivation of the stakeholders also to serve the sadhus. The various programs of the government of India like Amrut, Swachh Bharat Mission, Smart Cities Mission, etc. have also been helpful in providing a structured infrastructure base in Prayagraj. See, the sadhus gathered here for the sacred bath and they offered their prayers in the river. The Mela was successful in boosting economic activity, tourism, and employment besides projecting our national image. This was said by the report. This was said in the report of Niti Aayog, who presented the report on the organization of this Kumbh Mela. It added that it also effectively demonstrated the organization skills of the Adityanath government. Mr. Yogi Adityanath is the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. So the two places where the sadhus gathered for this Kumbh Mela also fall in the same state, that is Uttar Pradesh. And the next example of the effective management dot was the procedures and functions like Dabbawalas, which has substantiated the victory of management practices in India since many years. Who are dabbawalas? Dabbawalas are the people who carry the tiffins for the people who are working in the offices. The tiffin could have been prepared at their home or from the caterers. So these dabbawalas collect the tiffins from the caterers or from the homes and deliver it to the people working or the employees working in different offices. This is again a good example of good management system in India or in Mumbai. This is run in Mumbai. This is Dabbawala system is run in Mumbai. The management secrets are learned from the Mumbai Dabbawalas also. Speed, precision, and unfailing commitment to the job at hand. These are the defining features of the successful business models of Dabbawalas of Mumbai. Catering to over 2 lakh customers, the Dabbawalas deliver the lunch boxes to their destinations with clockwork regularly. Clockwork regularity. So with this we have seen the another examples of successful management in India. Today we will start with the functions of management. Which are the different functions of management? Here 6 functions of management has been given in this topic. Those are planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling and coordinating. That is planning, organizing, staffing, directing and coordinating and controlling and coordinate. That is pause the co. 6 functions of management has been defined over here. Planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating and controlling. From this picture you will come to know what is meant by planning. Okay, planning is done on the paper. Then after planning, some works are organized. The works or resources or materials are organized to the different work groups or different divisions. Then proper people are employed. That is called as staffing. Employment of giving employment to the proper people, right person at the right job. That is at the staffing. Then the directing function is done. Your superior or the boss direct his subordinates to get the work done. That is the directing function. Then there is a coordination between different divisions, different departments of the organization or proper communication. And the last function is controlling. Controlling is what? From this picture you will come to know. The review of the work is taken. Regarding the expected output and the actual output. Expected output is compared with the actual output, and if the actual output does not meet the expected output, then proper measures are taken for improving it. This is called as the controlling method. So these are the 6 management processes or management functions. The first function is planning. See, from this picture itself you will come to know planning is done mostly on the paper. What is included in planning? Management is what management does. This points out the functional approach to the management. Henry Fayol provided a functional approach to management in his book Industrial and General Management. What he said, management is what management does. Whatever is done by the manager, that is the management. Then which are the functions of management? See, here we are going to just overlook the functions of management because each of these function is detailed in an individual lesson or individual unit. Then, for example, the next lesson is planning itself. The third lesson is organizing itself. Then controlling. So here we are just taking the quick preview or overlook of all the functions. Planning function. Course and ODL defines planning as planning is deciding in advance. What it is deciding in advance. In advance it is decided. What it is decided? What to do, how to do it, when to do it, and who is to do it. What should be done, how it should be done, who is going to do it, and when he is going to do it. That is decided in advance. That is called as planning. Planning is the primary function of management. It is the function of deciding future course of action to achieve desired results. Which are the desired results or organization objective to reach the organization objective? To reach the organization objective, which are the future course of action? Which course of action should be taken to reach the organization objective? That is done in the planning. It is the process of deciding what is to be done, who has to do that, means who will do it, and when needs to do that, and how is to do that. What should be done to achieve the organization objective, who is going to do those functions, and when he is going to do that function, and how he is going to do that function. That is decided in advance in the process of planning. Planning provides guidelines for actual work. It provides the guidelines. Because every work is done as per the planning. Okay, so planning provides the guidelines for actual work. Planning set the standards against which actual activities are measured. Actual activities means actual performance is measured with the standards which are set in the planning. See, here you will come to know there are 6 management functions, and each management function is related to each other or dependent upon the each other. After planning function, the organizing function comes, or organizing function follows planning function. What is organizing? First of all, we see what is planning. Where it should be done, when it should be done, how it should be done, what should be done, who is going to do it, and why he is going to do it. All the questions, all the answers of these questions are given in the planning. For what? For achieving the organizational objective. Which processes? This is regarding the processes. What is planning? Planning. The central function of management, whatever a manager does, involves planning. Sarto, according to Sarto in 2003, choosing tasks that must be performed to attain organizational goals, outlining how the task must be performed, and indicating when they should be performed. Plans focus on how to attain organizational goals. Means to attain the organizational goals, or outline, the outline is formed regarding how the task should be performed, when it should be performed, and who is going to perform the task. The planning function of management controls all the planning that allows the organization to run smoothly. Planning involves defining a goal and determining the most effective course of action which is needed to reach that goal. It defines the specific course of action which should be taken, which should be implemented to reach to that specific goal. Most effective course of action. Typically, planning involves flexibility, as the planner must coordinate with all levels of management and leadership in the organization, as the manager has to coordinate with all the levels and he has to do the leadership also. Okay, that's why the planning should be flexible. Okay, because different people work at different level. We have seen the management or organization level. So there could be any contingencies, any changes, situational changes. So the plan can also change. That's why it should be flexible. Planning also involves knowledge of the company's resources and the future objectives of the business. The one who is going to make the plan, that the plan is done in advance, he should be aware of the resources the company has and what are the objectives of the business. So accordingly, he should draw a plan. The next function is organizing. What is organizing? Louis Allen defines organizing as: organizing is a process of identifying and grouping of works to be performed, identifying what? Processes, and identifying the group of works which should be performed. The processes and the works which are performed, those should be identified. Then defining and delegating authority and responsibility and establishing relationship to accomplish objectives. What is done? The authority is delegated and responsibility is delegated, and the relationship is established for accomplishing that objectives. Organizing is concerned with arrangement of resources in the organization. It involves the decision about division of work, delegation of authority, etc. It establishes proper superior subordinate relationships and facilitates coordination of activities in the organization. For example, in our earlier lecture also we had taken one example. There is a clothing company, and that clothing company, that business organization is preparing or manufacturing the jeans. So if the company is manufacturing the jeans, there could be different divisions in it. One division is just cutting the material, the second may be sewing it, the third may be taking the exact measurements, fourth may be stitching the buttons on the jeans, fourth may be stitching the chains on the jeans. There could be such many departments. One department can be also engaged in arranging the raw material for manufacturing the jeans, and the other can be responsible for selling the jeans or marketing the jeans. So the proper work should be delegated and proper authority should be delegated to the proper people, and responsibility should be delegated to them, and proper relation should be established between them to accomplish the objectives. So the resources should be also organized in a proper manner. The work should be divided properly. There should be proper decision regarding the division of work, delegation of authority. The next function is the basic elements of organizing are designing jobs. The job should be designed properly. Then the job should be grouped. Then establishing reporting relationships. Reporting relationship means superior subordinate relationship should be established. Then distributing authority. The authority should be distributed to the subordinate by the superior. Then coordinating activities. Different activities people should coordinate within different groups or different divisions. Then differentiating between positions. These are the basic elements of organizing. According to Sato in 2003, organizing is the process of establishing orderly uses for all resources with the management system. It is what? Establishing orderly uses of all resources. All resources of the organization should be properly done with the management system. This ensures that the necessary human and physical resources are available to carry out a plan and achieve organization goals. Human resources as well as physical resources, that is material, methods, machine, money should also be properly utilized to achieve the organizational goal. Assigning activities, dividing work into specific jobs and tasks, and specifying who has the authority to accomplish certain tasks, that is done in organizing. Grouping activities into departments or some other logical subdivisions. The activities should be grouped and it should be divided into subdivisions. Relevant authorities should be grouped. This process produces the basic structure or framework of the organization. Organizing refers as arranging and structuring work to accomplish organizational goals. The work should be arranged and it should be structured to accomplish the organization goals. It is an important process during which managers design an organization structure. Organizational structure is the formal arrangement of jobs within an organization. We are going to learn about the organizational structure in third lesson. In other words, organizing is establishing working relationship among employees to achieve goals. The next function is staffing function. H. Whitrich and H. Kuhns define staffing function as filling and keeping filled. What? The positions in the organization structure. There are positions means vacant positions, or the positions or the job places where the people are required. That is called as the positions. Filling the positions means recruiting the right people at the right position and keeping it filled means ensuring that the right person is working on the right place, on the right job. That is filling and keeping filled. There should be no vacancy. Always ensuring that the person is working on the right position and doing the right job. So this is the function as filling and keeping filled. What the positions in the organization structure. Positions means the job. Staffing function helps to find out right person for the right job. We are going to learn staffing function also in detail in next lectures. It includes some processes like recruitment, promotion, transfer, retirement, job rotation of the employees. Staffing function, that is looking or searching for the right person and then putting the person in the right job. See, right person is searched, identified, and that right person is put in for the right job. The third staffing is the third managerial function. It involves selection of personnel and assignment system and the determination of staffing schedules. The right person is selected and systems are assigned to him for determination of the staffing schedule. As per the staffing schedules, the systems are assigned to him. Adequacy of skilled staff to accomplish organizational goals is an important management function. There should be adequate skilled staff so that they can accomplish the organization goal. Staffing is concerned with placing right person at right positions. The next function, management function, is directing. See, this directing function again has some sub-functions. Directing involves giving instructions to people and ensuring that they know what is expected of them. In this picture, we have seen what is meant by directing. You will come to know easily by looking at this picture of directing. See, a person who is the superior or the immediate boss is directing his subordinates or the people who are working below them to do the right job to achieve the organizational goal by achieving the maximum efficiency and optimum output by reducing the wastage of the resources. Directing involves giving instructions to people and ensuring that they know what is expected of them. Giving the instructions are given to the people and ensuring that the people know what people are aware what results are expected from them. This is what directing. And this directing again has some sub functions: communicating, leading, and motivating. So sometimes you may also find different ways or different verbs of the management function. It can be planning, organizing, staffing, and some people write or break the function directing function as directing, communicating, leading, and motivating. But this communicating, leading, and motivating are the subparts of the function directing. What is the first subfunction of directing? That is communicating. It refers to transfer of message from one person to another. What is communication? Transfer of message. Effective communication requires proper feedback so that it is ensured that the message is clearly understood. When we come to know that message, when the person or to some organization whom we are sending some message has been received by them, so there is the only effective way of understanding that is the feedback. With the proper feedback, if the feedback is given, then we will come to know or will ensure that the message is clearly understood to the second person, the another party or the another person. For the effective communication, feedback is required. Then the second subfunction of directing is leading. Leading is an act of influencing subordinates. It is what? Influencing subordinates for what? To work willingly towards the attainment of objectives. Leading is done. There is one leader who leads the other people or his subordinates, or he influences subordinates for attainment of the objectives, so that they should be willing towards the attainment of the objectives. So it is his duty to lead his subordinates. A manager has to get work done through people. The success of an organization depends upon quality of leadership of managers. There should be proper leadership qualities in the managers, so that he will be able to lead his subordinates for the achievement of the objectives. The next function of directing is the motivation. This leading and motivation goes hand in hand. Motivation is refers to encouraging and inspiring the people. It is what? Motivating is encouraging and inspiring the people for what? For their better performance. It is a process of stimulating people for desired course of action. The people are stimulated for what? Doing the or going through the desired course of action. Desired course of action. Managers should provide monetary and non-monetary incentives to motivate the subordinates. As per FW Henry Fayol, what we have seen, that incentive should be given. And as per FW Taylor, what we saw, differential piece wage rate system. So the people who are working properly, who are motivated, and who are towards achieving of the objectives of the organization with maximum efficiency and maximum or optimum output, they are given more salary or more incentives or more bonuses, as well as monetary and non-monetary incentives are also paid to the people or workforce. The next main function of planning, then organizing, then staffing, then directing. Directing again has three sub functions like communicating, leading, and motivating. After directing, the next function is coordinating or controlling. Directing function, from this picture you come to know, there is one person who is directing with his index finger to his subordinates in which direction they should work or which processes they should follow to attain the organization objectives. Directing is a key managerial function, means important managerial function. Directing is said to be a process in which the manager instructs, guide, and observe the performance of the workers. He instruct the workers as he guide the workers, and then he observe the performance of the workers to achieve the predetermined goals. Directing is said to be the heart of management process. Planning, organizing, and staffing have got no importance if direction function does not take place or does not take place well in a well manner. See, this person is directing the other people what should be done. So directing initiates action. It starts with directing starts with action, and it is from here actual work starts. From directing, the actual work takes place. Direction is said to be consisting of human factors. In simple words, it can be described as providing guidance to workers in doing that. Guidance to workers is given for doing the function, and which human factors it includes, that is communicating, leading, and motivation. There are some elements of directing. Elements of directing refers to supervision, motivation, communication and leadership. These elements help in achievement of the organizational goals effectively. The next function is controlling. James Stoner defines controlling is the process of ensuring that actual activities conform to the planned activities. Means those are whether the actual activities or actual output are matching with the planned activities or the standard outputs. Controlling involves monitoring of actual performance. Actual performance given by the processes or given by the employees is measured or monitored. Then the deviation, if there is any deviation, it is found out and the corrective measures for the improvement are taken. That means if the standard output or the desired output should be 5 ton and the actual output is 3 ton only, then there is a deviation of 2 ton in the output. So if it is like that, it means it is not conforming, this output is not conforming to the planned activities. So the activities or the actual output is monitored and the deviation is found out. For example, in this case there is a deviation of difference between planned and actual, or difference between standard and actual is 2 ton. So if there is deviation, then the corrective measure should be taken. Corrective measures are implemented for the improvement of the output or improvement of the results. The next function is coordinating. Coordinating refers to interlinking of activities of all the subordinates. First of all, we see controlling. Controlling is a function of management. See, this person is controlling all the activities. Controlling is an important function of management which all the managers are required to perform. Controlling is the process of ensuring that actual activities conform to planned activities. Planning and controlling are closely related. Why? In planning, all the activities are standardized, or the standards are written, and in controlling they are evaluated. So they are related to each other. Why? Controlling is compared with the output in controlling is compared with the desired output in planning. In fact, controlling is more pervasive than planning because it takes place all different rows in all phases or all processes. It exists everywhere. Controlling also ensures efficient and effective use of organization resources for achievement of goals. That's why it is a goal-oriented function. It is ensuring whether the effective and efficient use of our organization of resources has been done or no. And the last function is coordinating. Coordinating refers to interlinking of activities. See, ordinating with each other. What means interlinking of activities of all subordinates and departments. There are that we have seen when with the levels of management or with the chains. There are many departments or divisions. So it is ensured that there is proper coordination between all the departments and all the subordinates. There is a need for coordination at all the levels. Coordination gives direction to all the departments and develops team spirit. What is the output of coordination? It develops team spirit. If good coordination is there between all the people working in all the departments, and it automatically develops the team spirit, which increases the essence of management, which in turn increases the output for the company or achieves the organizational objectives. This is the main essence or core of the management, because coordination gives direction to all departments. What is coordinating? Coordinating is the integration and synchronization of the efforts of a group so as to provide unity of action for organizational goals. What it is? Integration of what? Efforts. See, all the efforts, everybody is doing some work. So the works of all the people are integrated and those are synchronized as a group efforts. Those are synchronized as a group effort to give the desired output. It is the integration and synchronization of the efforts of a group so as to provide unity of action for organizational goals. There is a unity of action for organization goals. It is a hidden force which binds all other functions of management. What is the role of coordination in function? As we have seen, it is more pervasive. Coordination is more pervasive. It is more pervasive than planning. See, that's why it stands everywhere. Coordination in planning, coordination in organizing has planning, then staffing, directing, controlling, all the activities should have coordination with each other. So coordination exists everywhere. That's why it is said it is pervasive in nature. The coordinating function of management controls all the organizing, planning, and staffing activities. What it controls? all the organizing activities. See, all the organizing activities, all the planning and staffing activities, all planning activities, all staffing activities are coordinated with each other. Because unless and until coordination is there, planning the activities in planning won't reach to organization. It is very obvious. The activities in organization won't reach to other function like staffing and the next function like directing if coordination is not there between the people working in each department. So coordinating function of management controls all the organizing, planning and staffing activities of the company and ensures all activities functions together. All the activities are functioning together for the good of the organization, means for the welfare of the organization. All the activities are functioning together, all the activities are working together in a good proper manner for the welfare or benefit of the organization. Coordinating typically takes place in meetings and other planning sessions with the department heads of the company to ensure all departments are on the same page in terms of objectives and goals. Coordinating involves communication, supervision, and direction by management. With this, we have seen different functions of management, that is planning. Planning is what? Planning activities to achieve the organization's objectives. Organizing resources. What is done in planning? Activities are planned. In organizing, resources are organized. Resources and activities are organized to achieve the organization objective. In staffing, the organizations with qualified people, the places or positions are filled with the qualified people. Directing is what? Directing employees' activities towards achievement of the objectives by the superiors and controlling the organization's activities and monitoring them and take the proper measures to improve the output, to keep it on the course. So these are the coordinating activities. With this, we have completed lesson number 1, that is Introduction to Management and Organization Development. The next lesson is module number 2, that is plannings. Just now I had told you, here we are taking just a quick review of all the 6 functions of which are included in the management. But later on, a detailed lesson which comprises the detailed theory of each module or each management function. So next topic we will start with the module 2, which is planning. That is a planning function. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe and take care.